Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Labor Day to you folks that are able to watch and that are listening to on all of our socials. This is the Not Move podcast, the NASCAR segment. My name is Chief 316. I hope y'all are having yourselves a great and safe Labor Day weekend, and happy Labor Day. Just wanted to do a quick recap of the Cookout Southern 500 last night at Darlington Raceway. We had ourselves a very great race, a very interesting race. So we're just going to break that down, talk a little bit about also next week moving forward, and break it down the points since we are in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs after race one. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, my name is Chief 316. Looks like Cliff couldn't be here today, so no big deal, but we're going to keep on going. The show must go on. So big thing last night, Cookout Southern 500. Chase Briscoe completely dominated this race. It was a shellacking. That man led over 300 of 367 laps. So I must say, as far as what he was able to accomplish last night, especially on a big crown jewel race such as that, is a big accomplishment. It's even a bigger accomplishment the fact that he pulled off now two straight Southern 500 wins with that Southern 500 win last year as well. I will let you know, quick quick little detail. The driver that wins the first race of the playoffs the last 5 out of 8 seasons, that driver has gone on to the championship four. I do think that is something just little minute, but interesting to see. So Chase Briscoe does that. Other things I did see last night as far as this race goes on, you do have Toyota completely dominating this race. So I think it was the first five drivers were all Toyotas. You had last night the top three Toyotas in the finishing order were also a first time. It was the first time Toyota had three different organizations in the top three. You had Joe Gibbs with Briscoe. You had 2311 with Tyler Reddick. You also had Legacy Motor Club with Eric Jones, who, in my opinion, was the better car out of the top three, but he just couldn't get things going. It is what it is. That's the way this car is designed. Sometimes the racing can be great. It can also be completely horrid. And if you get trapped in dirty air, you just can't go anywhere. It is what it is. So moving on past that, the highest playoff driver that drives a Chevrolet finished 11th. That is a huge issue for me as someone who looks at this sport just on the daily. You have to have consistency if you want to win this championship. That alone right there, if I was to put I guess, not a precursor, but almost a blanket over the playoffs, if you can't stay consistent, you're not going to win this championship. Yes, you can walk off with a win and put yourself in a next round like Chase Briscoe did last night, but at the same time, you're not going to be able to point your way into everything, because I can tell you, if you have too many mulligans, they will come back to bite you. So last night, with the finish that he got, Hamlin completely drove a great race after the damage that he sustained. I sat there and thought that Denny Hamlin was honestly going to not finish this race due to the damage that he sustained last night, but he was able to get everything figured out. Bell had damage over on his car. As far as those two Toyotas go, they still finished decent. They could have, honestly, had they not had any damage, it would have been way better. You had the 45, who honestly, and Tyler Reddick, who looked great last night. Bubba Wallace looked absolutely like a seasoned veteran. Ever since Bubba Wallace won at Indy, something's been going on with him. And this kind of speaks to me. It came from his quote that he said after he won the race. He said, "I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm winning at life and nothing else matters." And that real life aspect is translating over to his actual on-track product, where he's actually finishing consistently. He's finishing races. He's not getting himself into trouble that isn't without his own doing, such as excluding Daytona, because that was not on him. The other major point that I saw last night was Alex Bowman completely just had issues all night long on pit road, off pit road. He could not get out of his own way. I can definitely see Alex Bowman being a first round exit in these playoffs. You don't think it's going to happen, but it does. Something's going on with that 48 camp. I can't put my finger on it, but at the end of the day, something's got to give with them dudes. And if they don't fix it, I do think just because they extended him doesn't mean they can't make changes. I think Hendrick Motorsports, excluding Kyle Larson, I do think Hendrick Motorsports is going through some sort of a renaissance where I don't think they know their own identity right now, personally. But we can move on from there. Now, after the Cookout Southern 500 last night, we did experience just a minor shakeup in the points. Okay, since Chase Briscoe did win last night, he punched his ticket to the next round, putting him at first place in points. Okay, then moved down to Hamlin, Larson, and then you have Tyler Reddick, and then you also have Bubba Wallace rounding out your top five. Now, as far as drivers to watch that are on the playoff bubble at this point, you have Shane Van Gisbergen and Chase Elliott, who are only ahead of the cut by Chase Elliott's ahead by 9, and Shane Van Gisbergen is only ahead by 3 toward over the cutoff line. Excuse me. It looks to be under the cutoff and currently facing elimination at this time. You have Joey Logano, who is -3. You have Austin Dillon, who is sitting at -8. You also have Alex Bowman, who is -19. And then rounding out the top 16 right now is Josh Berry, who also I had high hopes for qualifying within the top 5 yet on Saturday. I honestly thought he was going to have a great race. And after that first lap mishap that honestly just took him out of contention, it is what it is. It sucks, but I think they'll be able to kind of have a good finish next week. I do think they will be able to sit there and honestly be able to recoup some of those points. Not all. I think they're going to have to rely on Bristol, but I do think next week they'll at Worldwide Technology Speedway, they'll be able to actually kind of recoup some of those lost points, because I think you're going to have a few more movers and shakers in the points. So now, having said that, I will say this. Overall, this was not a bad race at the Southern 500. A lot of NASCAR fans I've been reading in the social medias are still not happy with this on-track product. I got to say, last night with that racetrack was last repaved, a full repave in 2008. So that's showing some age, especially down in the South, in South Carolina, where just the humidity is crazy out there. Everything ages in a rapid pace. I just got to say, Darlington is producing some very good racing right now, regardless if you like it or not. I know this isn't your dad's NASCAR anymore, where you had a lot more passing and a lot more comers and goers back then as you don't now. But that's just the world in which we live. They're going to have to make some adjustments to this race car. I do see the issues there as far as what needs to be done. But, I mean, that's a later episode during the off season that we can honestly break down while we're going through everything. Now, moving ahead, okay, I did want to bring up as far as next week. Next week, we have the Enjoy Illinois 300 at the Worldwide Technology Speedway, okay? So that is, if you're not familiar with where that is where right outside East St. Louis, Illinois, right outside St. Louis, Missouri. So back in the Midwest, this track is it's a very interesting track. The Cup Series has only been racing at it for I think 2 years now, and I got to say it's very it's very interesting to watch. It's not exactly high banked. or very fast. It's kind of one of those moderate races if you're really going to sit there and watch it. I will just say this: it's worth a watch. One thing I will always mention is Penske does very well there. So look out for your Logano's, look out for your Blaney's, look out for your Cindrics. Those guys, honestly, I see doing very well. Also, watch out for Hamlin. I just this track speaks Denny Hamlin to me. It's weird saying that, especially in the playoffs, because the age old question is when's Hamlin gonna have his playoff woes? They come, they always do. It is what it is. I don't think it was yesterday, just because he had some toe link damage. He still finished pretty respectable. He still finished and had a great points day. So he's going to keep moving. But as far as how the race is going to go this coming weekend, like I said, watch out for your Penske cars, watch out for Denny Hamlin. And honestly, at this point, with the momentum, with what I've seen so far this season, look out for Chase Briscoe. Just because he won yesterday does not mean he's not going to keep going. Because if he can keep winning, and honestly, if he can go on some sort of a win streak and have these drivers point their way in, and honestly helps him, gets him more bonus points. So we'll be able to see how it goes this weekend. Other than that, I just wanted to say thank you all for being here. I do appreciate you listening and watching. Please, please, please check out the Not Move podcast. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We are on Spotify. We are on Amazon Music. We are on Apple Music. We are also on Kick. And I do think we're on Twitch as well. There's probably one other social media platform that I did forget. Oh, X, formerly known as Twitter. Excuse me. Please go check us out on all of those socials. I just want to say thank you again for being here. I hope you all have yourselves a great, happy, and safe Labor Day on purpose. Always, always, always have a good day on purpose. Thanks, and I hope you all have yourselves a good one. See ya.